Problem number 6. The following balances were extracted from the books of Thomas as on 31st March 2018. So these are the balances drawn from the trial balance, and there's an additional information given. There are 3 points in the additional information. There's a closing stock of 9,000 and a depreciation of 10% on machinery and interest accrued, okay, on the investment 2,000. The question here is prepare trading account, profit and loss account, and balance sheet. These 3 you have to prepare, okay. So if it is given for 12 marks, then it will be 4, 4, 4. It's like that, okay. The answers will be split that way, right? Now, unlike the previous case, when we were preparing only profit and loss account, we were dividing the items into expenses and incomes, and we are not bothering to know what is liability, what is asset, right? And similarly, when we were preparing balance sheet, we were bothering to know only what is liability, what is asset, and we were not bothered about the incomes and expenses, okay. So when we were preparing balance sheet, we were trying to identify what is a liability, what is an asset. And similarly, when we were preparing income statement, we were trying to identify what is expense, what is income, okay. So but here this is a typical scenario where you had to identify both expenses and incomes and assets and liabilities. To avoid the confusion, what we can do is with a pencil, okay, in your handout, those who are in the class, you can do that. Those who are at home also, you can do that, because I was telling you that you keep this handout in front of you when you're sitting for the class. So what you can do is with pencil, as we just take one by one the items, the balances, as we read one by one, okay, just put A if it is asset and L if it is liability against that particular item, put I if it is income, put E if it is expense. Okay, we'll go this way so that we don't miss anything and it is easy to go ahead. So purchases, it is an expense, right? Put E. Returns inward. What is returns inward? Returns inward, when you sell goods go out, okay. And those customers who bought goods from you, if they find those goods defective, or if there is this unused goods, they may return back to you. So when they return back, that is returns inward, it comes in. You sell goods, it goes out. When they return back, it comes in. So that's returns inward. What's returns inward? It's a sales returns, okay. It is a deduction from the sales. Let's go to the next. Yeah, it is neither expense nor income. It is just a deduction from the sales, right? Next is, yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Right. So opening stock, okay, it's a debit, right? Debit to the trading account. Freight inward, debit to trading account, okay. Expense. Wages, expense to trading account. Investment, asset, okay. Bank charges, expense, okay. That goes to the profit and loss account. Land, asset. Machinery.
Sir, are you sharing the screen?
Sorry?
We can't see the screen.
You can't see the screen. Okay, ma. Okay. Yeah, right. Uh, Now, can you see it now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So bank charges expenses, land asset, machinery asset, building asset, cash at bank asset, cash in hand asset, capital liability, creditors liability, sales income, returns outward. When you buy goods, goods come in. And some of those goods which you have unused or found defective, if you're returning back to your suppliers, those goods will go out. That's returns outward. Okay, returns outwards is a deduction from the purchases. Okay, let's go with the solution. Okay, let's go with the solution. Right, the solution is like this. Okay, we'll write the solution heading, side heading, then draw 4 lines, 4 columns table. Right, and we give a heading, trading and profit and loss account. Okay, for the year ended. For the year ended. What's the year ended? 31st March 2018. 31st March 2018. This is the heading. Okay, and you can take, you know, even the examination paper in the notebook also, you just take it as a center alignment. Okay, now below that, write down the short form of debit, the short form of credit, the DR and CR, and take them to the extreme, to the left and to the right. And below that, okay, in the first row, you will be writing the headings, particulars, okay, particulars, amount, okay, and same thing, particulars, particulars and amount, amount. Okay, so from then onwards we will take the items. Okay, what's the first item? We'll take the opening stock first. Opening stock, the first item to be taken is opening stock. Opening stock. What's the amount of opening stock? Opening stock 10,000. Yeah, those who are online are supposed to respond. If you're not responding, then that means you're absent. Okay. Then opening stock is over. Purchases. Next item is purchases. Purchases. Is there any adjustment for this? Purchase amount we'll take first. What is the amount? Purchase amount 75,000. 75,000. Okay, 75,000 and less returns. Less returns. What is the amount of returns? The amount of returns is 1,000. Okay, look at this one. Returns outward. Returns outward 1,000. Okay, purchases and purchases returns 1,000. And what is the net amount? The net amount is 74,000. Okay, 74,000. Next, yeah, the next item, freight inward 4,000. freight inward. Okay, 4,000. Freight inward 4,000. Next, wages 2,000. Wages 2,000. Okay, wages 2,000. Next, what is next? Read out. Shall I take bank charges? Shall I take land? Shall I take building? Shall I take cash at bank? Yeah, those who are online, I want you to respond. I want those who are online to respond. Not in the offline. Not those who are in the classroom. Yeah, shall I take investments? Shall I take investment?
Yes.
Yes. Who is this? If yes, why? If yes, why? Okay, not to waste much time, let's go ahead. So these are assets already I told you, then they should be taken in the balance sheet, right? So on the, yeah, look at this one. We have missed to give prefix to all these transactions, right? So 2 purchases, okay, 2 freight, okay, 2 wages. Look at this, trading account debit to opening stock, trading account debit to purchases, trading account debit to freight, trading account debit to wages. These are the entries. Okay, then just like that, we'll give suffix, prefix for credit side. Buy sales. Buy sales. What is the amount of sales? The sales amount is 1,20,000. 1,20,000. Is there any adjustment? Yes, there is an adjustment. Therefore, we will write this in the inner column or the particulars column. Okay, 1,20,000 is a sales volume, and there is a return. What is that? Returns inward. Returns inward is sales returns. Okay, 2,000 less returns. Less returns. Okay, less returns. And you may ask me, sir, why you are not writing sales returns? Yes, you can write. You can write because it is written under sales. Okay, it must be sales returns only. Therefore, I am writing returns. So I need not write. I cannot write purchase returns here under sales returns. So therefore, I'm not writing full sales returns or returns inward. I'm not writing. Simply, I'm writing returns. If you prefer to write returns inward, you're welcome to do. Okay, that's not wrong. This is also not wrong. So less returns 2,000. And the net amount is 1,18,000. 1,18,000. Next is, yeah, I think that's it. Anything else? Anything else?
No, sir.
There is one more item that is to be taken, that is closing stock, right? Closing stock. Buy closing stock. Closing stock. How much is the closing stock value? 9,000. Yeah, still scan through if we have missed any item to be taken into trading account. Yeah, all the direct expenses to be taken or direct items to be taken into the trading account, whether it is expense or income, right? Yeah, for my knowledge, we have taken everything, but still you just scan through. Okay, right. So then we'll close it. We'll close the trading account. What is the total of the trading account? 1,18,000 plus 9,000. 1 lakh. Come on.
7,000.
27,000. 1,27,000. Okay. And there is a balance. What's the total of this? 1 plus 74, 75,000, 75, 79,000, 81,000 is the total on the debit side. The credit side total is 1,27,000. 127 minus this amount. $127 minus, okay, 1,000 plus 74 plus 4 plus 2. Quickly, you have to use the calculators, please. $37,000 or
Yes, sir.
27,000?
37,000.
37,000 is the balancing figure. Okay, what shall we write here? To gross profit. To gross profit. Okay, now this is balancing figure. Okay, this is balancing figure. What was on the debit side will come to the credit side when it comes to, we are starting profit and loss account from below. Okay, we are starting here. Now by gross profit, how much is the gross profit? 37,000. Gross profit is 37,000. Gross profit is 37,000. Okay, gross profit is 37,000. And yeah, let's continue with the other expenses to be taken into the profit and loss account. All the indirect expenses. Like what? Like what? Yeah, you have depreciation, you have bank charges. In the trial balance amounts, you have bank charges, investment asset, land asset, machinery asset, building asset, cash, bank or assets. Okay, sales returns, returns outwards, purchase returns we have taken, sales returns we have taken, creditors is a liability, capital is a liability. The only item of expense is bank charges. Where is that? Bank charges. Yes, 1,000. That's it. And there is one more item to be taken into profit and loss account. That is depreciation. Provide 10% depreciation on machinery. Provide 10% depreciation on machinery. Okay, provide 10% depreciation. We'll take that. That's expense. Now there's one more adjustment. Interest accrued on investment is 2,000, which is an income. Okay, to be taken into the profit and loss account. Okay, let's take them. Two bank charges. Two bank charges. Okay, the amount is, what's the bank charge amount? 1,000. 1,000. And two depreciation. Two depreciation. Okay. Two depreciation. Two depreciation at 10%. Okay. 10% on what? Depreciation on what? Depreciation on depreciation on
Machinery.
Provide depreciation on machinery. What's the value of machinery? 30,000. Okay, 30,000. So on 30,000, that is equal to 3,000. 3,000. Next, that's it. Okay, adjustment 1 is over, 1 is over, 2 is over, 3 is over. Right. Next, there's one item. There's one item. 3 is not yet over. Yeah, interest. By interest. By interest accrued. By interest accrued 2,000, which is an income. Okay, which is an income. look at this. I'll do one thing. I'll bold it so that that's distinct from others. Right. So that's all. Did I miss anything? Please scan through. Yeah, expenses and incomes to be taken into profit and loss account. Did I miss or did we miss? Nothing. So one more scan is over. And take the total. 37 plus 2000. 37 plus 2000. 39,000. 39,000. 39,000. 39,000. Now look at this. The total on the debit is 4,000. Total on the credit is 39,000. The difference is 35,000. Okay, what is this? What is this 35,000? Balancing figure. What do you call that balancing figure? Net profit. Net profit. Okay, so this is balancing figure. Okay, now what do you do with this? What do you do with this? Add it to capital. Add it to capital in balance sheet. Okay, add it to capital in balance sheet. Right? This is the end of the profit and loss account. Trading and profit and loss account. Okay, trading and profit and loss account. Now we'll draw the balance sheet. We'll draw the balance sheet. Now balance sheet. Okay, balance sheet of so and so. Look at this, ma. We have forgotten to give the name. Trading and profit and loss account of Mr. Thomas. Mr. Thomas. Yeah. And here also balance sheet of Mr. Thomas. Okay, look at this. The wordings that we have written here. Trading and profit and loss account of Mr. Thomas for the year ended. Okay, for the year ended is the wordings to be used for trading and profit and loss account. When it is balance sheet as on 31st March 2018. 31st March 2018. Okay, take to the center alignment and make it bold, right? Even in your text notebook or answer booklet in the examination halls also. Okay, so that's it. Now let's take pencil again and scale and draw 4 columns, a table with 4 columns. Okay, the first column to be broad, second narrow, again broad, the third column, okay, and the fourth one narrow. Okay, first to write particulars. Shall we write particulars? Liabilities. Okay, amount. And assets. Amount. Okay. Now from this trial balance, we try to identify only assets and liabilities. Okay, we have already marked when we were reading the problem. Okay, we'll just take those items and drop here directly if there are no adjustments. If there is an adjustment, then give appropriate treatment to that particular item of asset or liability. Okay, look at this. The asset started here with investment. Investment 10,000. Is there any adjustment for investment? Yeah, you know, yesterday we were talking about the order of permanency, order of liquidity. If you're taking the longest items in the beginning, on the top, on the liability side, follow the same thing on the asset side also. If you're taking long-term liabilities on the liability side, you also should take the fixed assets on the asset side. If you're taking shortest liabilities on the liability side, you must take the shortest items, liquid assets on the asset side, right? Either you follow the order of permanency or follow the order of liquidity, right? It is your wish, but you follow one order. Like, you cannot jumble the items and then drop. It is not a proper discipline, right? If you're following order of permanency, follow that. If you're following order of liquidity, follow that. Let there be one order. Okay. So investment is one asset. Okay. Machinery is there, land is there, building, okay, cash and bank or the assets. And in addition to that, there are liabilities. Capital and creditors are the liabilities. Closing stock is an asset on the balance sheet, asset side. Okay. And when it comes to the machinery, there's a depreciation which you have to deduct, right? And you have to add the investment interest to the investment. Okay, that's all we have to do. Now we'll follow the order. What's the order? Order of permanency, order of liquidity. Which order do you want me to follow? I prefer to follow order of permanency. The longest item to be taken on the top. So therefore, I'm taking capital. Capital. Is there any adjustment? Yes, there is an adjustment. Okay. Is there any adjustment? Yes. There is no adjustment, but there is some amount drawn from profit and loss account, which I had to consider. So the capital amount is, what's the capital amount in the problem? 60,000, 60,000, 60,000, 60,000, right? Then is there any net profit you have made? Net profit from the profit and loss account. What's the net profit you have made? 35,000. Okay, 35,000 net profit you have made. Okay, this amount. Next, the total is 95,000. 95,000. So capital on the liability side. Okay. And is there any item to be taken on the liability side after capital? You have creditors also, right? Yeah, creditors 30,000. We'll take creditors. Creditors. How much is the creditors amount? 30,000. Okay, 30,000. 30,000. Next is creditors is 30,000. Next is assets. I think we are done with the liabilities. We'll go to the assets. So land I consider to be the first item to consider as the longest item. So I'll take land. Land. How much? 30,000. Next. Yeah, after land, you have machinery. Yeah, machinery. Is there any adjustment for machinery? Yes, there is an adjustment. 30,000 is the worth of the machinery. Okay, and there's a depreciation to be provided. Okay, on that, right? That comes to 3,000, right? I'll put it in bracket indicating that it is a negative balance, and the resulting figure is 27,000. Okay, next. Yeah, next. Buildings 25,000. Buildings 25,000. There's no adjustment for buildings. Next. Investment. Where is investment? Investment. 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 How much investment? Yeah. Actually, there is an adjustment for investment, I think. Yeah. What is the adjustment for investment? Interest accrued on investment 2,000. Investment is investment 10,000. Accrued investment, interest accrued on investment 2,000. So 10,000 is the 10,000 is the amount. Okay, add accrued interest. Okay, let's come into 2,000. The resulting figure 12,000. Okay, next, what are the next items? Yeah, cash at bank, that's bank balance. Bank balance 18,000, cash 4,000. Cash for bank 18. Okay, bank 18, cash 4. Okay, 18,000. Right. So we have taken closing stock, we have not taken stock. $9,000, right? Yeah. Stock 9,000. Stock 9,000. Okay. Did we miss anything? Yeah. Please scan through the problem which is with you. The problem is with you. Please, those who are online can respond to me. Those who are online, please respond to me. Did we miss anything? Any item? Yeah. This is a problem. Did we miss anything? If you're silent, what should I think? Presume. What shall I understand? Okay, at least make the total on the assets, while I'll make the total on the liabilities, because liability items are only 2. Yeah. So I have made liabilities because it's only 2 items, 95 plus 30, 125. And please check the total on the assets. 30 plus 27, 57, 57 plus 25. Go on. Plus 12, plus 18, plus 4, plus 9.
1 lakh.
1,25,000, sir.
1,25,000. Okay. So this is balance sheet. Okay. This is a simple problem. This is a simple problem. As we proceed, complications will increase. The adjustments will increase. Okay. So now please let me know if you have any doubt.